What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Dead Funny Review Show. I'm your host, Chris. Joining with me today are these special people in the field of finances. We have Kelsey, the accountant extraordinaire who has never spent a single dollar on a microtransaction. And then we have Bree, the accountant extraordinaire who has spent every single dollar she's ever owned on microtransactions.
Who's the better accountant? We don't know.
But boom. So this review show is about microtransactions, why they were created, why they're here, are they here to stay, and are they a hurtful thing to gamers? Are they a good thing to gamers? We don't know, but we do know, and we're going to talk about it and come to our own conclusions. And if you guys agree with us, that's awesome. Let us know in the comments. If you disagree and tell us that we're stupid in the comments, that's awesome too. Either way, doesn't matter. But behind us, I have my good buddy Cloud. Fantasy 7 Remake comes out. It will be released episodically, which means every episode will be a microtransaction, which I will be purchasing. So I'm just getting ready to be poor in the future. That's what I'm here for, to let you guys know that when this game comes out, I'll be broke due to microtransactions. So behind Kelsey, we have Mass Effect. It's her favorite game of all time. Even though she never bought a microtransaction in the game, she stayed on the straight and narrow and was like, you know what, this game has enough content for me. And she didn't buy anything else. But that is her. And behind Bree is, I'm not sure if it's a smite or if it is a help wanted ad, because that is where all her money went. That's where all her money went. So
Right out the door.
Yep.
Never looked up how much I've spent on that. I heard it's possible. Probably don't ever want to.
I'll say the one time Bree ever impressed me is when we were talking about suits, or not suits, but outfits that you can get for your favorite god smite. Because I dabble in smite a little bit. I dabble just a little bit. And I was wanting to get this one skin. Well, she got this one. I won't talk about how much the chest was, but she got this one skin out of this chest. And there were 50 items in the chest. 50. 50. She had no items in the chest. And it's RNG, which means completely luck or no luck. If it's when you get it, is when you get it. And for her, it was item number 50. So she rolled the dice on that chest.
It was the
50
Aphrodite
times.
witch skin.
And she did not stop.
I remember specifically which one it
I do
was,
too.
and I was like, I played this game for 2 years at the time, not bought any other games. This is what I'm buying. I want this skin.
That is a segment that, sure, we'll go ahead and start off with that one, honestly. So that is why I'm okay with the spending on Smite. Because Smite is a free game. It does not cost anything to get the game. You pick it up and you play it. That's all there is to it. So in order for a game company to make money off of that kind of game, microtransactions make sense. Because it's the only way they're making money. And it's not like they're just throwing microtransactions out there and then not doing anything. They constantly change their game all the time. They add new items. They take away items.
Well,
they buff items. They negate
They do
items.
a lot of tweaking.
They do a lot of tweaking, but every time they do a new season, it is an overhaul. Is it not?
Yes.
Okay. That is
and
still
they come
paying
out
attention
with
to
very, very well designed skins. They come out with gorgeous graphics. I mean, they do really well, and I feel they do deserve the money. Yes.
And they also listen to their fan base, because there are plenty of skins that were artist competitions between the players, and the best artwork is what became the skin. So once again, like I said, as far as high res is concerned, I'm okay with their microtransactions. So I support it. But some of you other fucks, and I'm gonna get to you in a minute, we gonna have words. All right, we gonna have words. You might not hear them, but they gonna be here, recorded. Ease. So 50 times, man, what a loser. Anyways, moving on from that. Now I remember her telling me about it, and I knew she was good. I knew the moment she was like, "Oh my God, Chris, there's this Aphrodite skin, and I gotta get it." And I was like, "Oh yeah?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm definitely gonna try for it." And I was in the middle of looking at a Vamana skin that I wanted, and she was sitting there telling me about it. And as she's describing it, I'm like, if it literally is the last item in the chest, she will keep going. And the reason why is because not only does she look like a black witch like with the whole black hat, black witch
This is the
dress,
whole
whatever.
reason why I'm for it.
She holds a scepter in the game as her weapon, but it was a broom in that. And the reason why she wanted it is because there was a little black kitty that was on the edge of the broom.
It was
And
my It's my favorite character, my best character, and it had a black kitty. I was like, I'm going for this.
and if you look at a wall and you just do your normal basic attack where she's swinging the scepter and
This I
a
didn't
little
know.
spell comes out. Yeah, I know, but you fucking love it. Anyways, when she looks at the wall and she uses the scepter and she just does a normal attack, the little spell comes out and it hits the wall. The cat is what's coming out and smacking against the wall. It's like, "Nyeh," and it just flattens up against the wall and then runs
And
away.
it
And then she does
down.
it again. And she throws another cat up against the wall. So it's just constantly just throwing a fucking black cat against the wall. It's hilarious. So, yeah. As soon as I heard that it had the black cat, I was like, yeah, she's going to spend fucking every dollar she's got until she gets this fucking skin. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I have not done that on Smite. They're actually so what's funny to me, and you'll find this amusing, is that they do this thing where they call it a season odyssey ticket, and it starts at the beginning of their season. Their season roughly lasts a year, and what it is that you buy it for $14, and it allows you to gain progress through the ticket just by playing the game. The more progress you gain, you unlock this stuff for free. So basically, you're spending $14 with the chance to unlock a lot more than $14 worth just by playing the game. If you can get all the way to the end, you normally get their Omega skin for one character. Like, it will basically be one character showcase, like fucking last time it was Thanatos, which is my favorite character. Um, and so, like, what's funny to me is, like, what we'll do, me and my buddies, we'll take a look at it and we'll add up how much money it would cost to just buy the ticket outright and get all the items. And normally it's a couple $100. Literally a couple $100. You're spending $14 to get about a couple $100 worth of microtransactions, skins, and voice packs, and all kinds of shit out of it. So we were looking it up to see how much it would be, and I want to say like this current one was like $285 or something like that in order to get the Thanatos skin outright. We literally got into a game and someone had the fucking skin. I was like, this guy, like, it just came out today. This motherfucker right here just spent $285 to get this fucking skin. I could do that. I physically could not do that. I say that, but Final Fantasy VII has not come out yet as a remake, so I don't know what I am capable of yet. We'll see.
What did they say the rare Thanatos skin cost? The angel one.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I have no fucking clue.
They had to spend, like, I swear to God, it was something ridiculous, like $1,000.
Yeah, but it's so cool. Have you ever
get,
played
like, a rare
Have
one.
you ever played like Assassin's Creed, Kelsey, at all? Like any of them? Okay, so you know how like they do that walk where they have like their hands together like they're praying and they put their head down in order to like blend in with the crowds? Yeah. So literally that's what the skin looks like. Is him with his head down, he's praying and like he's walking. He looks like just this normal like fucking crusader almost. And then whenever he reaches level 10, he gets like a little bit of wings, like some angel wings almost. And then when he hits level 15, his suit changes to all white and then his wings get bigger. And then whenever he hits level 20, he actually turns to like this gigantic, like fucking god looking figure, fucking halo, with gigantic wings. And that's what their Omega skins are. Their Omega skins actually change as you level up in the game. We're not talking about like leveling the skin up, like in the game. Every game you start out as level 0 and the highest you can get is 20. So in the game, your character is constantly changing the way they look. Like the Anubis one, he looks like a cultist. So he's like this little satist guy just running around. And then he starts to transform into this demon dog. Every 5 levels he goes up until the last one he's like got fucking chains and lava and shit coming off of him and he looks all demonic and it's Anubis and yeah he looks crazy as shit. It's pretty cool. Like their skins are actually pretty fucking cool, especially their Omega ones. I don't think I own an Omega skin. I don't think I bought a single Omega skin at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't. Because the last one that just came out was Bologna, right? Where like whenever you switched to her different weapons, she switched what dragon she was.
Yeah, I think Bologna was the last one.
Yeah.
The crazy one, but I think with Smite, they're free, like you said. They don't get any other money from that source, and they definitely come out with really good stuff. It's what you like, and I feel if you want it and there's a demand, then what's the problem? I mean, we don't have to spend our money.
Yeah,
you don't have to play that game.
Correct. You don't have to, right?
So.
Yeah, I mean, but we're gonna go into a little bit on how like that differentiates from DLC to just the original game and stuff like that, which is where a lot of people are kind of having their issues and bringing up certain situations because a lot of gamers are starting to feel like we're getting cheated out of stuff now because it's a lot easier to release a somewhat finished game and then just release the rest of the game that's already finished in a DLC pack, and then on top of that also release microtransactions, and then it seems like we're just basically getting robbed at this point. It's what a lot of gamers feel. And I'm not necessarily saying they're wrong. I'm not saying they're right, but I'm not necessarily saying they're wrong either. There are a couple games out there that I'm like, you're kind of trying to fuck us a little bit. Destiny. Anyways. But, so, I guess to finish the Smite conversation. Fuck, I had something I wanted to say. Oh, so another cool thing to point out about Smite is that like one of the things that you can buy that I do kind of feel is somewhat necessary is you can buy what is called the Ultimate God Pack. So whenever you first start the game, there's 5 gods that are available to you. And right now they're at like 90 something or close to 100.
Yeah,
there's
right.
like 5 gods that are available to you, and it's one out of each role. Because basically, in a MOBA, you play a role. You don't really play a character. You play a role, and certain roles have certain characters that can play that role. So you got your carry, support, mid, jungle, solo. So basically, you have your people who play those roles. And you have one god per, and I think it's like Neith, Ymir, Ra, Thor, and I'm blanking on the
one?
warrior.
Bologna?
No, I don't think it's Bologna.
No.
I don't know. I'm blanking. Oh, Guan Yu. Guan Yu. It's Guan Yu.
Guan Yu.
Okay. Anyways, so you get those 5 gods to start with, and then what they do is they do a weekly rotation, where every week they rotate 5 new gods in on top of that for you to play and try. And it's just 5 random ones every time. Once again, 1 per role, but they do it every single week. So you get a chance to play every single god in the game, but you don't get to keep them because when the week's up, it's over. Or you can spend $20 and get the Ultimate God Pack, and it unlocks every single god. And on top of that, any new god that ever comes out. So you don't ever have to pay for another god again. Every new god that ever came out. So for people like me, whenever I bought the God Pack, and it was 15, I think it was $15 at the time, they had like 40 gods. Every single god that's come out, there's like 50 something I've gotten for free. I've never had to pay a dime for, which is pretty cool. Because they could just be like, buy the Ultimate God Pack and unlock every god that's out at the time. And then when they release a new god, be like, oh, we'll pay fucking $1 to get this new god. Like, they could do that. They choose not to. Which is some games they do that, where it's like, oh, we're adding a new character. But it comes with a price tag. So
that's because they know that their skins are their biggest source of income. And by having all the gods available, you're very much more enticed to purchase other skins that look awesome for that god. If you don't have all the gods open and you're like, well, I have like 10 of these. Oh, they brought out a new Artemis skin. I don't have Artemis, so okay, well, I won't purchase that. Now you have all the gods, and now they just bring out really awesome skins, and you have the really basic skins only to your availability. So I think that's their incentive to get you to purchase the other skins. Because the ones they provide to you are very basic, very normal.
Right. And once again, as we've already said, they come out with some pretty cool skins. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our big segment here. Are we, as gamers... hold on one second. Oh,
the suspense.
Doesn't matter. Are we, as gamers, getting fucked by some companies? Yes, we are.
Oh, not that way?
Nope.
Okay.
By some companies, yes, we are. And this is why I feel that way. So, when a game comes out, if it is a AAA title, the game, and sometimes even if it's not a AAA title, the game comes out, it's going to be released at $59.99. Including tax, you're looking to pay $64, somewhere above that as far as money's concerned. So, you buy the game, you get home. So, like, let's pick a game out. Who should I pick? Oh, I'm just going to go with Destiny. Anyways, so Destiny. Destiny release, right? Fucking trash. So, bought it, midnight release, $64.89, whatever the fuck it was. Take it home, install it, play it, had a great time. It was awesome. Loved it. Then, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, by the way, this is where DLC pisses me off, okay? Because this all ties in. So this is where DLC pisses me off. Don't offer me a season pass or DLC when I go to buy the game. That is infuriating. Because you're basically telling me you had content to release when the fucking game released, but you chose to keep it out just to charge me more money. Whenever I go to give the goddamn clerk my physical copy, don't buy physical copies anymore, by the way, anyways. When I go to give the clerk my physical copy of Destiny, and he's like, oh, by the way, here's this little cardboard piece of fucking shit that has a code on it where you could pay $25 more and you get the next 2 DLC packs. Like, that's telling me this game code is in the game. It already exists. It's just locked. And at this date, you're going to open the lock so I can go in and play. So I'm paying you $25 to pay for content that's already in here. But you won't unlock it for me unless I pay that $25. That's fucked up.
You're paying the same price for the game that you've always played that has full content usually. And now you're getting portions and pieces of the game, and then you're having to pay more to get extra.
Right. And that was like my biggest argument with Destiny. And whenever I argue this with people who still, for some fucking reason, because they're stupid, play the game and argue that it's one of the best games ever created, which is 100% false. I'm sorry, but it is. You can play it all you want to and love it, but if you think it's one of the best games of our generation, you obviously need to sell your console because you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Anyways, so Destiny is like, Kelsey, you coming to me and buying a book. So you see this book, and you're like, Chris, I really want to read that book. It looks very interesting. I read the cover of it. I think it looks awesome. Can I please buy it from you? I'm like, you know what, Kelsey? I'm going to do you a salad. You can buy this book from me for $60. And you're all like, dope, awesome. So you go to buy the book. As you give me the $60, I put it
$60 book.
As you give me the $60,
be a fucking textbook.
No, it's huge. It's a big ass book. Let's just go ahead and say each chapter is about like fucking 100 pages, and it's got like fucking 50 chapters. All right, you're good. So, I don't read books. All right, I read comic books. All right, they're a lot smaller. All right, fuck off. It's been a while. Anyways, so I put the $60 in my pocket, and I go to give you this book, but I go, oh, hold on one second, and I open the book. And I grab 49 out of the 50 chapters, and I rip them out, and then I hand you the book. And then you're like, well, what the fuck, Chris? I would like to read the entire book. Oh, okay, well that's fine, but it's gonna be $25 per chapter. At one point, what do you stop paying for the book? Right then and there, right?
So actually, I have a question with this.
Go ahead.
Because I understand what you're trying to get across, but my understanding of DLC is a little bit different than yours, and so this is what I want to understand. Because there are times DLC is done well, and there's times DLC is done badly. Okay. Because we have to acknowledge that many game makers will go, hey, this is what we think the story arc is going to do, and then partway through, in the same way that when they're making a film, you know, deleted scenes from a film, the same way they do that, they go, wait a minute, this whole thing, including this that we've designed, we've developed, we've made it look beautiful, this actually doesn't help us at all and makes the game too long, so we're actually going to go ahead and remove that, so that way this actually fits better. And then my understanding of DLC is they're going, hey, you still get all the plot, but if you want extra stuff to do because you love the game this much, these are pieces that are like deleted scenes that we removed. And so it's kind of like paying extra for the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings trilogies. Like, I know tons of people that do that because they love those trilogies so much. They want the extended director's cut. They want to see everything that was ever even potentially going to go in that movie. And then there are people like my mom who's like, I sure as shit don't want to watch a 4-hour movie. You give me the theater version. What the crap is this? And so I think you're describing DLC as though they're removing 90% of the plot, and they're doing that to make money. And my understanding of DLC is usually they leave the plot pretty much untouched. There's a couple times that I've seen plot actually be changed by DLC, but it's rare, as opposed to like these deleted scenes concepts.
Okay, so something, I guess I'm basing off, and it also comes down to the video games too, as we've already pointed out.
That's true.
It's like Smite,
definitely true.
It's completely different. So, in my opinion, Destiny, we had like a total of 3 planets we could explore. They've been working on this game for like fucking 12 years. It was fucking crazy. I mean, I could easily probably sit down and beat Destiny from start to finish in like fucking 8 hours. I mean, that's not enough content to justify $60 in my opinion, at all. But see, so another reason where my conversation comes from, and a lot of gamers are in the same boat as me on this one, is that we're from the age of when the game came out, it was done. If you had more to add, that was part 2. So if you're going to keep adding and adding and adding, at what point is it enough to sit here and say, like, because you have to look at it as $1 per game, because they're not upgrading their game anymore, because they're spending all this time just focusing on releasing more stuff for that game. So the game's not getting upgraded. Things are looking the same, graphics are looking the same. You're not going to get whatever 2, whatever 3, whatever 4. You're just going to get whatever 1 DLC patch 1, whatever 1 DLC patch 2, whatever 1 DLC patch 3. It never changes. So therefore you're playing the same game over and over through a span of years, where at this point, if it would have been a second installment, they would have had time to work on the graphics, make it look better than the first one, and that's what you want to see. You want to see progression in a game, because that's what's going to keep you going back and buying from that franchise. I didn't fucking play Halo 1 and then fucking jump 12 years into the future to fucking play Halo 3 thinking that the graphics are going to be the exact same. That'd be fucking stupid. I would never pick up Halo. Like, that's just all there is to it. The graphics have changed drastically from Halo 1 when I first played it all the way out to whatever fucking Halo they're on now, 5, or coming out with Infinite, whatever the fuck that is. But regardless, it's changed, and it continues to keep changing. I agree with DLC to a point. Whenever it's something as far as like Call of Duty, for instance, when they come out with DLC and it's like, oh, you've been playing this game for whatever, here we are fucking 6 months later, we've decided to make some fucking new map packs. And on top of that, we've also decided to take some maps from the old games that you guys love so much and revamp them and also put them in there. And here you go, $20 and you get like fucking 12 maps. That is worth my money. I would buy that. That is worth my money. That's something that Call of Duty does. Now, whenever I'm sitting here playing Halo, I'm not Halo, Destiny. Let me pull this up so I know I'm correct. Destiny 1 DLC list. See how many fucking DLCs this stupid fucking piece of shit had. I hope it has the prices on this too.
You know what's funny about this? Yeah. I remember talking with Chris plenty of times about Destiny and saying that it was shite and that they really fucked up on the story, because they had great potential for the story, and they supposedly lost their story person, and that's why it did so bad, but really huge potential and a great storyline, and they just messed it up. It was just like playing a grinding game with no story. That's what it was like.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was fun multiplayer. It was fun and interesting for like the first, I don't know, few weeks of the game, and then it just was like the story potential that they had bragged about and how great of a storyline was going to be, going to this planet, getting to experience all these different locations, different life, like having what is it called, an open world concept?
It was called a living and breathing environment, is the first thing they're trying to be.
So much stuff that they were going to do, and it really didn't meet any of the expectations. And Chris was like, this is the best game ever, I love this game. Like, he was all about this game. He's shitting on it right now, but I had to like twist his arm to even see my point on this. So don't. It wasn't even that. I mean,
you can talk to any one of my fucking friends and they'll tell you the same thing. I fought Destiny to the death, saying that it was one of the greatest games out there, until they let me down with Destiny 2. So I kept saying, I mean, I got to stick with them. I love Bungie. Bungie fucking made Halo. They never let me down with the Halos. Bungie's great. And then they're like, don't worry. You guys said that fucking you had 3 planets in Destiny 1, and you said that we were 4 planets in Destiny 1, and you were lacking content. So guess what? Destiny 2, we're going to make sure you have plenty of content, plenty of planets, plenty of stuff for you to explore. Destiny 2 comes out, we have 1 less planet than we had in the first one. What the fuck? I'm sorry you don't know how to do math, Bungie. I'm sorry you don't know how to do math. Anyways, so the original game came out at the target price $59.99. Next up, we had the Dark Below DLC, which came out at $19.99. Did that add anything to the plot? No, it did not. It added side missions and shit like that. The Taken King DLC came out. Guess what? Let's go ahead and take a stab at how much this DLC cost. Any takers? Any takers? No? All right. $40. $39.99. Once again, added 1 raid and 1 side mission and a couple new strikes. Well, we're not done. Then we mosey on down the road, and guess what? Now we're going to come out with the Rise of Iron. Guess how much that DLC costed? $29.99. So at this point, you've paid $60 for the original game, $40, which is $100, for Taken King, another 30 on top of that for Rise of Iron, which is going to be 130, and then another 20 on top of that. So you paid $150 just for Destiny, and that does not include microtransactions, which are definitely in that game.
Yeah.
$150. But in their defense, they gave us free DLC as well. So let's look at their free DLC, the one patch installment they gave us. Fucking Sparrow Racing, where you could get on your bike and race each other. I mean, bro, how could I argue with Sparrow Racing? Woo! Great
However,
times.
Chris, the problem is that it just wasn't as interesting as that one found in that one game that sucked you in and you never came back out. So that's really the problem here.
The problem is...
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
What? Huh?
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No, you're going to say it again. Do what?
No, the game that Evan bought you, that
like
rather
Gwent.
than playing the game, you just went and played a card game in the corner. That's
Yeah,
all you ever did?
Gwent, yeah.
Gwent.
Yeah, Gwent.
Gwent, yeah.
Yes, the card game. But I didn't have to pay money for that. You paid no
well, you
money.
didn't have to pay money for Sparrow Racing either.
I know.
Here's
They
the
didn't.
thing,
They didn't. That's the point. Sparrow Racing was free. It was terrible. Oh, I see what you're saying now. I see the comparison you're making.
There
now.
we go. It connected.
But still,
okay.
that's the issue, though. That's the issue. Is they made us pay all this fucking money, and then they're all like, that was their argument. It was like, well, we gave you Sparrow Racing. Fucking thank you, dude. Thank you. You gave me Sparrow Racing. My life is fucking complete.
We
Fuck.
can't. Like, we can't get mad about it because we choose to spend our money on it.
I understand that.
At the end of the day, it's our money, it's our decisions. And honestly, if they give us shitty content and we aren't happy with it, it's gonna fuck them over in the long run.
But here's where the issue is. Here's
like,
where
they're not gonna get long-term
This is
growth
where the issue comes into play
or
with that.
retention.
This is where the issue comes into play with that. So this is why they keep doing it and how they know they'll keep making money. What is the point in playing a video game? To enjoy it and have a good time, right? What is the point in playing a video game online? To enjoy it and have a good time with your friends. With your friends. Just because you think it's a money grab, your friends might not think that, or they also might not care. So therefore, if they buy it, now they're creating separation. And the companies know they're doing this. They're creating separation, which is going to make you want to do it that much more. Because guess what? Right now, last night, I was playing zombies on the new Blackout, or on the new Black Ops, and there was a map we couldn't play. Why? Because me and my friend had the new map because we have the season pass. The other two people we were playing with didn't have the season pass, so therefore they didn't have the new map. So we weren't able to play with them. That's automatically causing separation. So now it's like, well, we already played this map a bunch. I mean, what do you guys want to do now? And then it's like, well, either me and my friend can split up and just go play the zombies by ourselves, be like, fuck you guys, or we have to go do something that we didn't want to go do and go be able to go play with them. They're already causing separation because of this.
Okay,
and,
I can see that point.
But
like,
that's fine. That's fine if we're talking about a DLC installment and we're talking about the number of times. If it keeps happening, it keeps happening, it keeps happening, like at some point it's like you just keep topping yourself and keep creating this further and further and further and further and further separation just so that way you can keep making more money. At the end of the game, I mean, at the end of the day, there used to be these game developer companies like Bungie back in the day when they were making Halo, who were making the games for the fans. It seems like this shift has now, and obviously they're a company, they're in the business of making money. I completely understand that, but it seems like the shift has been from fans / money to money completely. Because it's one thing to give us these DLC packs, but to also add microtransactions in as well. And I mean, some of these microtransactions, like they actually are like actually infected like in-game content as far as like matchmaking and shit, where like someone could buy a weapon that did better than yours. I'm not saying Destiny, but there's games out there that are like that, where they could buy a weapon that's better than yours. So now you can automatically kick my ass, regardless of skill level, because you're able to spend more money than I am on a video game. So that right there is already destroying the video game.
That's the part that I don't like, yeah.
Correct.
No, you should not be able to buy your way to victory or winning over someone. Like, if it's cooler looking, sure, but if it's something that can damage me more, just because I didn't spend $2,000 on this game, I have to lose? Like, no. I wouldn't play the game.
So, where my main point comes into this with things like Destiny. So, Destiny was supposed to be this dramatic story, amazing atmosphere that you're supposed to go into and everything like that. With something like that, DLC of microtransactions don't make sense to me. Maybe a couple DLCs for like how we got the new raids, which was the main thing that I played that I fucking fell in love with. Sure, I absolutely 100% agree with that. That was awesome. But to an extent, sooner or later there needs to be a Destiny 2, which there is. I'm not saying there's not, obviously. But sooner or later there needs to be a Destiny 2 so that dramatic story can get revamped, go somewhere else, and also look better doing it with newer graphics. You can't just release a patch and completely change a fucking game. That's not how that works. To where when you look at something like Call of Duty, there is no story. There has been multiple ones, but in this one particular, in Black Ops 4 particular, there is no campaign. Absolutely none. Like, it's not even an option. There's just multiplayer. So that, to me, makes sense because Call of Duty gets made every 2 years by a different company. There are 3 companies that make it, and they just cycle through. So that makes sense to me because this game is not going to be out that long before the next one comes to take its spot. Unless it is as good as Black Ops 2, where people are just like, fuck the other Call of Duties. This game is amazing, which right now it is. It's the fucking shit. I'm really addicted to this game. But, once again, that makes sense to me because there's no force for upgrade. Like, this game is going to only get old because it's just becoming the older one in the sequence. That's just all there is to it. So with them just adding a DLC pack, it's like, hey, spend $20 and you get this. Like, right now, they just released their DLC pack, the Season Pass. I think it's like $40 for their DLC pack. And that's $90 right there on the game. But that's it. But they already said, that is it. There will not be another DLC pass for you to buy. Every single map, which we guarantee you is at least going to be 12 multiplayer maps, a couple blackout maps, and like fucking 20 different zombie maps. You get all that. We will never charge you again for this game. This is an upfront price. You pay the $40, you get that. You get tons of cool exclusive skins for your weapons, skins for your characters. That is one flat low price. That is something that I can buy into because it's like you're giving it to me up front. You're telling me there's not going to be anything else. To where Destiny's like, oh, here you go. Here you go, little guy. Yeah. You read that first chapter? Yeah. You're hungry? Oh. Well, here, $25.
Are they talking to you like that?
Yeah, they were. Here's another half of a chapter. Oh, there you go. You dance for me. Yeah. Okay, another $40. I'll give you a chapter and a half this time. There you go, little guy. There you go. Like, and they stuck with the same enemies the entire time. There are like 3 different species of enemies in that game: the fucking Fallen, the Hive, and the fucking Vex. 85% of their content that we paid for over and over and over again all had to do with the fucking the fucking Hive. Like, make me fight something else, for God fucking sakes. Like, I've killed Crota, I've killed his father, I've killed his sister, I've killed both his fucking aunts. Who else is in this fucker's family that I have to kill in order for the Hive to not exist? Like, fuck me. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, that's how it was. The Dark Below, you fight Crota, and you fight one of his fucking best friends. And then that's it. That's game over. All right, cool. The Hive has been stopped for 2 months. Now, the Taken King comes out. You got to fight Oryx, or whatever the fuck his name is. Well, who the fuck is Oryx? Oh, well, that's Crota's father. And he's pissed because you killed his son. Oh, well, fucking great. Now I got to kill fucking Oryx.
We can all
then you get all the way to Oryx. Oh, there's these 2 fucking sirens in front of him. Who is that? Oh, it's Oryx's daughter, Crota's sisters. It's like, how many people in his family am I going to kill? How many people do I need to kill in your family for you to just stop? Like, fuck me.
Then eventually get to a point where you're like, the grandpa, you have to kill the grandpa. I don't want to kill the grandpa.
It's just some fucking, like, demented, like, fucking demon-looking Hive guy just fucking cruising around in a wheelchair and shit. That's fucking hilarious. Like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
Game has gone too far.
Yeah, for sure at that point. So where the issues are starting to come out is because a lot of these game companies did not expect, I mean, they knew this was going to happen as far as these numbers getting to us, but they did not expect for us to see them the way that we did. EA in general, just EA, which are the people who created Mass Effect, EA made for their physical year $1.68 billion just off microtransactions alone. That does not include DLCs. Just microtransactions.
Oh my God.
That's one game
Blizzard
company.
did over 4 million, if I read correctly, for 2017. Yeah, Activision Blizzard made over 4 billion in microtransactions.
Micro. That's your Overwatch. That's Overwatch.
No, that's not just Overwatch.
I'm not saying it's just Overwatch. I'm just saying that's Overwatch.
Off of,
World of Warcraft. Diablo. Yeah, that's your Blizzard games right there for sure.
Because
StarCraft.
Overwatch, I think the only thing really you can buy is loot boxes. I've never bought a single thing in Overwatch, but
you don't
think
think people buy loot boxes to get every single one of the skins for their characters?
Yeah, but once you get all the skins, what else?
That's a lot, but it's RNG, right? I can't just buy a loot box and be like, "Give me
I
Gidgee."
almost have all the skins, and I've not spent a single dollar on Overwatch.
For every character.
I have a decent amount of the skins.
You play
if
that
I were
game
to buy
much.
loot boxes, I
That's
would be.
That one.
What?
I said that you play that game way too much. That's all there is for that one. Jesus. I'm pretty sure if you were to put your time in Overwatch versus your time in Smite, which I'm going to take a wild guess, you've played way more Smite than you have Overwatch, and you're nowhere near as many skins as you would be in Overwatch if you take away all the money you spend on Smite. Besides the God Bag.
I lost the trail on that one.
Yeah.
So.
Basically, he's saying that the reason you have so many skins in Overwatch, or
Smite,
so many skins in Smite, is because you paid money.
If you would have just stacked up time played against the games, you would still be extremely lower.
I think I have more
Smite.
skins in Overwatch than I do in Smite, though.
Well, there's not that many characters in Overwatch as there's in Smite. Smite or Overwatch, you've got like what, 20 characters, maybe 25. Smite's like almost 100 gods. Like, there's a lot more people for skins and voice packs and all that other bullshit that comes along with it.
Actually, I probably do have a decent amount of skins in Smite too.
So, yeah, like I said, that is absolutely crazy. I mean, 1.68.
That is
a
very
4 billion.
Big number.
Like, yeah, that's huge, and that's just off microtransactions. That has nothing to do with DLCs. It has nothing to do with the original game cost. That's microtransactions alone. So, at what point are we getting fucked? Like, that's what everybody's saying. It's like, what point are we getting fucked? Like, I mean, I understand. I completely agree with it's our money. We choose to buy what we choose to buy. I completely agree with that. But at the same time, if you're going to give somebody, like I said, a fucking, oh, you can only get this fucking sword that does 100 damage if you fucking buy it from us. Other than that, your sword will only ever get as high as 95. Well, that dude's going to kick my ass fucking 10 out of 10 times. Why? Because his sword does more damage than mine. Easily. And it's just crazy that that's even a thing. Once again, that's not in a lot of mainstream games, not that I know of at least. Once I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I have heard of games that are like that, which that's pretty fucking stupid, in my opinion. It just, I don't know. It's rough.
I mean, it may be stupid.
People...
It may seem wrong. It may seem annoying. I mean, the only place that falls on those are our shoulders, and it's our place to fight back. Not buy the product if we don't like what they're doing. Not buy the content if we don't like what they're doing. But honestly, I'm okay with what Smite's doing. If I like the product I'm buying, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with whatever anyone else is doing. If they make money off of it and I like it, then that's them. I'm not okay with the whole Destiny thing and like giving you the same content over and over again. But then you should stop buying it, you know? Like, you're upset with Destiny. You don't like Destiny. You might not buy the third Destiny if it comes out. You're definitely not going to buy DLC. Like, their decisions have impacted how much revenue they're going to get from that. Like, they could get a lot more and continue to make $4 billion or whatever if they hadn't have recycled their content.
Well, I will say this. I'm not trying to pull a Bree and do a call to arms here. That's for sure. But I will definitely agree with the notion that, like, unless we stop, they're just going to keep doing it. That's 100% obvious. I mean, if they're making money, they're not going to stop. Because, yeah, you just said, cool, I'm not buying the next DLC pack that you're going to give me for $40. It's fine. These fucking 12-year-olds that have their fucking mom's credit card on their Xbox just wanted these new fucking dancing emotes where they shake their ass on the screen. So they already bought the amount of money that you would have spent on the fucking DLC anyway. So go fuck yourself, kid. Like, I mean, they're not going to give two shits about one person stopping. I mean, it would take
they're
a
still
lot
going to be making
their...
less money.
Oh, for sure in the long run, but not
would've.
enough to fucking... I mean, once again, we just talked about fucking actual numbers. I mean...
You never know.
It would take a lot more than just fucking one person, for sure. I'm not saying that there's not multiple people out there that have the same issue and are choosing to do the same thing. I mean, I can tell you right now, I didn't buy the latest raid for Destiny, and that was the main thing that kept me in the game. Why? And that's another big fuck you to me, is $30 for the newest fucking DLC, I believe it was, 20 or 30. And they're all like, oh, it's going to be the new raid. All right, cool. That was the main reason why I played Destiny. The raids were fucking phenomenal. I love the teamwork, getting in there with a group of friends and having to figure out fucking Kelsey, I know you've seen me fucking play one of the raids before whenever you fucking came over here and chilled at the house where I was sitting there trying to like fucking finish that raid with my friends. Yeah. fucking that shit. We would sit down, and that thing could take fucking anywhere between 10 to 20 hours trying to figure out the first time. That's because of how big it is and how many puzzles and shit there are to solve, and they don't tell you any information. You just go in there completely blind. And it's like, okay, cool, awesome. But then you turn it right back around, and fucking, they're like, here's the new raid. Oh, but wait, it's just like the fucking bathroom of the ship. So you get one fucking room. And it's like, why? So, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Also, if you have any kind of agreements or disagreements, or just want to tell me that you agree that Destiny sucks, I'm completely okay with that as well. Anything else and you're getting perma-banned from the channel, ease. But at the end of it, please like and subscribe. Also, let us know down in the comments if you are tired of microtransactions. I think on this panel, we might not all agree that microtransactions are bad. And I'm not saying all microtransactions are bad, but I think all three of us can come to the agreement that within reason, microtransactions are okay to exist, and DLC. I don't know if I agree that microtransactions and DLC should both exist in the same game. I kind of feel like that's a little too much, but once again, I also agree with the notion that it is your money, your conscious decision. You choose to do it as long as it doesn't create level difference to where it physically takes enjoyment out of the game because someone is able to get ahead of you solely for how much they spend, then I am 100% against it. So as long as it does do that,
make it right, motherfuckers.
Right. It's just, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's fair. I mean, that would as someone who plays multiplayer games, if I literally go to get up against somebody and I'm going to lose 10 out of 10 times solely because they spend more money than me, that's not fair. I'm not going to want to play that game.
They need to. I agree. We should end with they need to fix that shit. You should not be able to buy your ability to win because that's not fair to people that can't afford it.
Right.
Should be a
classism,
level-ish playing ground.
Anyways.
Playground.
Down. In.
Paying ground.
Yeah, we're skipping right past that. Definitely editing that joke out. So, in the links below, you got Twitters, you got Twitches. You can go over there and bitch about how much money Bree spent on Smite on her Twitch. Feel free to do that because she definitely
or praise me. Like you a boss, Bree. You a boss.
Don't.
You know how to throw down that money.
Don't. Like I have a level of like integrity to keep on the channel. If Bree goes homeless and can't afford an internet connection, so that way she can be on the channel, she's gonna have to go. All right, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna sit here and play setup while she's trying to put her green screen up in the fucking public library or wherever the fuck she lives, so that way she can be on Dead Funny. Not gonna happen. Anyways, that being said, like I said, hit us up. Let us know what your thoughts are. 1.68. 4 point whatever. It's crazy numbers. That is crazy numbers off of microtransactions. But at the end of all that, we hope you enjoy your week, and we will see you next time.